Alright guys, another entry in that what's old is new again, I guess. Maybe I'll just redo the whole advanced Kai strategy section with better quality. But remember, if you like these kind of videos, leave a comment, like, silly comment, sub, hit that notification bell, whatever, it helps. Anyway, so let's talk about one of the things when I made that advanced strategy guide for Kai thing was using how his dust recovers faster, and it gives you some very bizarre mix-ups. And this is one of those mix-ups that probably in that video looked like a once in a million kind of mix-up, but it's actually, I would say, just a obscure legitimate actually mix up. It looks kind of bullshit, but this actually is not once in a million. I would say this just is an obscure mix up that actually works. And it's planting that dust right on the guy's head, and then you either go for, you have to have an overhead option so the guy can't just, block low the whole time. And then you have the whole left and right mix up with doing that dust right over the guy's head and then doing a fireball to bounce back to the other side, or you're on the other side then, and if you've done a normal they can't block low, or you do a big blue and it hits there. And again, this is actually a fun one. Like, I'm smiling when I say this because it looks bullshit and it looks like this shouldn't work, but this is legitimate. This is actually a legitimately funky, obscure mix-up that you can do, and it uses the fact that Kai's dust recovers faster, right? So again, you have different options you can do, and you always want to have an overhead option just to discourage the guy from just blocking low the whole time. But yeah, this is probably much more legitimate than it looks, and this is something I use in real matches. And also I'll show an example of, because the dust covers faster, then he also has just the jump version, and then you can either cross up or stay on the same side, then go for a low, which again, this is pretty ambiguous at times, right? And I know this gets brought up because a lot of times when people have watched me play real matches, they're like, why don't you do as much FRC fireball mid screen, like Big Blue, into mix ups and that high low mix up, whatever it is? Because I think his meter management in this game is pretty versatile, and that's why I don't use it just for that. Although I will get into some more obscure mix-ups for Big Blue mid-screen stuff rather than just, the cliche high or low. But this is one of the reasons I don't use that as much, because some of these more funky mix-ups are actually pretty good themselves. So you don't always have to do just Big Blue, and a lot of times I don't always do an FRC Big Blue because maybe I'll just use the Big Blue to work the way to the guy to the corner, or I'll do an obscure mix-up like this that is actually more legitimate than it probably looks. Anyway, remember, if you like these kind of videos, like, sub, blah, 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 blah. More videos to come. The end.